Okay, so today I'm going to start on part 2 of the floor repair on the Dart. As you can see, I put it up on the ramps just so I can get underneath it too and clean up the grease and grime under there, so when I start welding it doesn't catch on fire. As you can see, the seat's actually back in there, and I completely took out all the carpet because it was pretty nasty with rat urine and just been sitting for as long as it was in storage before I got it for 7 years, and then 4 years before I started getting working on it, getting it running. So, gotta take the seat back out and start cleaning up the area around the weld. But as you can see, I got it up on ramps, and I just wanted to show you where I'm at with it. Basically, the whole point of this is to keep it mobile at all times, so I don't want to tear it down too much to the point where it can't be driven, and go from there. Alright, let me get the seat out of here. Alright, just real quick, as you can see, here's the crack that we were talking about on part 1. So I have to fix all that, get it all ground down so it's clean, and so we'll go in there and weld it. Here's some of the tools I'm going to be using. Of course, cut-off disc, one of my favorite, flapper wheel. This tool right here is awesome for getting out all kinds of gunk, and it allows you to get out, the old freaking sealer stuff that they put back in the, in the cars in the 60s, and it's a way of cleaning all that out of there. I got a cut-off wheel, die grinders, wire wheels, but basically just to clean up the area so it's got a nice clean welding surface. And I'm probably going to be opening it up so I have a better welding surface too. Basically, these cracks are just going to have to cut them back and then fill them in, because it's actually overlapping underneath a little bit. So I have to get it just to where I can get them parallel and do a nice butt weld on them. So that's where we're going to be at. That's what we'll start doing. Alright, so the first tool we're going to start with is this little bad boy right here. Should take off most of the stuff that we need and clean up that area pretty good. So I'm going to start with that. Alright. Alright, so that cleaned up the majority of it. I'm just going to go around with the little rotary sander here and clean up some more areas. Alright, so as you can see, I've actually cleaned it up pretty good. And if you look real close, let me actually get this out of here and move it over. See how we got that overlapping metal there? Well, that's because it's been warped and kind of bent out of shape now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that and level it out, make it even, so I can get a nice clean butt weld in there and make it stronger than it was originally. Okay. Alright, so the next tool I'm going to be using is this cutoff wheel. I'm basically just going to cut around it, try to get rid of some of the old metal. I'll probably have to get some, I got some material in there I can use to actually repair this. So just the way it's cracked and overlapping, I need to reinforce it a little better, so I'm going to cut some of it out. Basically what I'm doing there is just getting some straight edges in there. I'll probably get some material and fill it in, and maybe just put a plate directly underneath it that bends up and fills that entire area and reinforces it. But I'm going to go through and, you know, re-weld all this area here, pull that up, and get this all so it's sturdy and strong again. Alright, so I think upon further inspection, I think the best bet is just going to be cut the whole thing out and make a whole new panel for that. I think it's going to be the best bet, and just make it nice and straight, fill that whole area in, replace this plate, and just go from there. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that whole thing out, make a nice square. So all I got to do is bend up a piece of metal to fit in there. Alright. Alright, so there you have it. If you look right there, you see how I didn't cut all the way through, because I didn't want to cut this bracket for the emergency brake, the parking brake cable. So just going to make a piece of plate that fits on that. You know, replace that there, so I have the hole and the reinforcement for the seat. And it's going to be a lot stronger than it was to begin with. So